Kim Flanagan says her adult son, Jacob Craig, didn't deserve to die, even though he had a gun when officers confronted him. This is the app the passenger was using moments before the fatal car crash. It shows you how fast you're going and could also be used against you in the court of law. This is a photo of an ATV Robert Murphy tells me was taken from right here off of his driveway. Wes tells me he was in his room when he heard a loud bang. That's when he grabbed his gun, came downstairs to see his neighbor peering through his kitchen wall. Is there anything that you want to say to the family or for the community? I am really sorry. That woman tells me she was getting off here at 51st and Yale just trying to go to the bank, but what was supposed to be a quick errand turned into something else. And this should worry you because it will affect everything from where you shop to where you eat. This looks like your normal office, but it's a little different. If you walk over here, you have mom working with her 3 children the entire day. Aaron, the Schoolhouse Rock live event is happening right now here at Guthrie Green. When you're out here on the water, things can happen very quickly. Park rangers say you always want to wear a life jacket to be safe. The events inside this Arvis Bank came just minutes after police say they tried to restrain Joshua Harvey earlier down the street. Officers attempt to calm Harvey down before Harvey breaks the glass door.
Tase him, tase him, tase him.
Tulsa police records show Harvey was tased 27 times, ranging from 1 second to 5 seconds each. He died 3 days later.
He was tased 16 times by Officer Nigel Harris, and he was tased 11 times by Officer Stephen Douglas.
Joshua's parents now want a criminal investigation and for the officers to be placed on suspension until that investigation is over.
We are calling on District Attorney Steve Kunzweiler to take over this investigation.
He says the officers violated TPD's own policy that says 2 officers should not tase someone at the same time. The officers say Harvey was still combative and one of the taser probes did not attach. TPD told us previously,
and a second officer could deploy, and it would give the impression that 2 officers are deploying at the same time or using the same level of force when actually they're not.
The Department of Justice guidelines say tasing someone longer than 15 seconds may increase the risk of serious injury or death and should be avoided.
We do know that violation of policy also is a violation of the law.
Harvey's parents say they just want something to be done.
Justice got to be served. There's no way around it.
Aaron, officers say one person was shot and taken to the hospital after a drive-by shooting that happened at Maxwell Park. Police say the victim is in his 20s. I'm going to step aside so you can take a look at the vehicle police say was shot at. The shooting happened just after 8:30 tonight. Officers say there were 3 teenagers in the car at the time. All of them are okay. Police say someone rolled down their window and shot at the victim's car multiple times. Investigators say the victim drove himself all the way here near Independence Street in Quebec before he noticed that he was shot. Police say the victim is in stable condition and is being treated for his injuries. Investigators are still out now, speaking with witnesses, trying to piece together what happened. So as soon as we get more information, we'll be sure to pass that along. Live on the scene on the story in Tulsa, Tristen Land, News on 6. Craig Terry Furniture Factory Outlet donated more than 100 cases of water to the community, and neighbors tell me they've had their concern about the water for months and want something to be done about it. One by one, people drove up to the corner of 9th and Broadway to grab a free case of water.
Need some water?
I'll take some water. I don't cook with it, I don't drink it, and I haven't for years.
It's sad that I have to buy water and I pay for water.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
For months, Fred Willie says he has dealt with water troubles in Collinsville himself.
It's unusable out of the faucet.
He says he can only use the water to shower and do laundry. Today, Willie's company donated 150 cases of water to the community.
It's dirty, you can't drink it, you can't cook with it. I mean, you just can't use it for what you need to use it for.
Gina Pate says she spends lots of money on bottled water for her family.
It's sad that we pay $50 or more for water and we can't even use it.
I want to be able to rely on the system for water that I pay for.
Tara Nolenberg is a mom of 3. She says she can't do anything in the kitchen unless she uses bottled water.
It's clear, but you can definitely tell there's something wrong with it. It doesn't taste good.
Willie says until something is finally done to fix the town's water troubles, he will continue to help his community.
I mean, you're paying a water bill, you should be able to use the water that you pay for.
And we tried to contact the mayor and the public works director to find out what's being done, but no one has returned our calls. Live on the scene on the story in Collinsville, Tristen Land, News on 6.
I am devastated.
Kim Flanagan is choking back tears, trying to come to terms with the loss of her son.
His heart was a pure heart. He loved people and he loved his family.
Police shot and killed Jacob Craig Monday afternoon after detectives say he ran toward them with a gun, ignoring commands to put it down.
You don't address a mentally ill person with anger and hostility and commands. You're going to end up with a bad situation every single time.
Police understand Flanagan's frustrations.
It's tragic. It's not unlike we haven't seen before. But unless we get a handle on the funding for mental health issues, I think you're going to see more of this.
Flanagan doesn't want another parent to go through what she's going through.
I want to see that people understand about mental illness, to understand substance abuse, to please stop incarcerating these people.
Craig's mom says her son hasn't been the same since seeing his wife and unborn child die when they were hit by a car a decade ago. She insists there was no reason to shoot him, even though he had a gun.
He would get agitated when he'd get mentally ill. He didn't have the mean bone in the body.
Flanagan hopes police use this incident to change their policies on dealing with the mentally ill.
They need to be educated. They need to be trained by mental health professionals, not their own.
Officer Heido Kaya is on paid leave this evening. He's been with the Tulsa Police Department for about 7 years and is a combat veteran. Live on the scene on the story in Tulsa, Tristen Land, News on 6. Kids in roller skates may not be what you expect to see in your everyday corporate office, but today,
I am fine and I'm not fine with being out of school because I miss all my friends and I miss my teacher.
Tens of thousands of kids are out of school because of the Oklahoma teacher walkout, and while some families are scrambling to find childcare, Brandy Bynum says her job has a solution.
I have my 14-year-old Avery, 12-year-old Conley, and then I've got my 9-year-old Finley.
Yay! While Bynum says she supports the teacher walkout, she was concerned about where her children would go when schools closed. Not anymore.
I feel like it's a pleasant experience.
Yeah. I will bring my kid to work every day that I can if it will help them do what they need to do.
I would encourage people to try to be as open-minded as possible and help their employees.
Switchgear Search and Recruiting CEO Liz Brolick says she will allow her employees to bring their children to work for as long as it takes the teachers to rally for education funding.
We definitely stand by our teachers and hope that we can get additional funding for the classrooms.
Parents here are still urging teachers and students to call their legislators demanding funding for education. On the scene on the story in Tulsa, Tristen Land, News on 6.
Cut people off like that, look.
Cell phone video captures the moment a driver charges at Stephanie Ward's car, then reaches through her window.
This guy just assaulted me, everybody.
He speeds off, leaving Ward in disbelief.
I was scared for my life. I was seriously thinking like he was going to hurt me, possibly kill me.
The incident happened Friday afternoon when Ward says she was on her way to the bank near 51st and Yale. She was sitting at a red light and saw an opportunity to get over into the left lane, and she says that's where it all started.
Like I was halfway in the lane, he started gunning it, and then when he got on my butt, he was just swerving. I mean, he was road rage style like crazy.
Ward says she pulled into the bank's parking lot and he followed. She was about to call her husband, but says she decided to take a video.
When he jumped out, that's when I decided to record instead of calling him. So I was thinking maybe I should have just called him, but then I wouldn't have some of that footage.
Footage that has now gone viral.
I think he was at 1K on the shares, so I don't even know how many views.
Cut people off like that, mother.
Ward says she hopes someone out there will recognize the man so police can make an arrest. And Ward tells me she has filed a report with the police department. Live on the scene on the story in Tulsa, Tristen Land, News on 6.